I won't bless that guy, that son of a
that son of a that poor son, that poor son, that
son of a bitch.
The year is 2022. The year of Jorts the cat's milkshake ducking. Welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast. It's November 6th, and this is America.
Well, I'm not in America.
This, I say, gesturing wildly around me, is America. How's it going?
It's going quite well.
That's great.
I'm having a good day.
Oh, well, that's just great.
It is.
I'm really happy for you.
And why, Ben Saint, are you unhappy today?
I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a good mood.
What happened with your lecture?
Oh, yes. I will. Yeah. What happened with that was, the render, it's an 8-hour video. The render was going to take about 120 hours. And basically, I should have done this sooner. I should have done it right away. I would have caught the problem. I had uploaded a draft version to YouTube because I went into the description to add, what do you call them? Chapter markings?
Right, yeah.
And, and so I was adding them on the draft version, and I just noticed an editing mistake that happened a bunch of times, and it was like just unacceptable. So I was like, well, I fucked up. I have to restart the render. And it was already almost done by that point. So
dang, that
was like 5 days of rendering, and then it finished. And then I just like, well, I got to fix the error and just start it again. So it's going again, and it is now at 52% of the second pass.
Oh my god.
And
it's quite far.
Yeah. It has been, I think it's been going for about a day and a half? No, closer to like two and a half days. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter if it comes out last week or this week. I said last week it'll definitely be out unless something fucks up, and it did. So, oh well.
I was a little surprised that you spilled the beans on what it was on Twitter before the video was like uploaded or rendered, at least.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you?
I don't know. I just felt like it would. I would have expected it to be like keeping it a secret until it was ready to be shown.
I thought cluing people in early would build a little bit of anticipation. The reason why I didn't want to say anything about it earlier was just because, like, what if I lose motivation? What if something goes wrong and I can't do it? I revealed it as soon as I was like, well, there's no stopping it at this point.
Right. Okay.
It's yeah. Yeah. I kind of always meant to tease it. So I guess I'll say it again. It will definitely be out this week.
Unless a terrible, catastrophic thing happens again.
Unless a terrible, catastrophic thing happens again. Which you probably won't. Yeah, there was a visual effect that plays every so often. And basically for the first half of the video, the effect was playing like 10 seconds early, which is like just completely wrong. So it was pretty bad. So I was like, well, I can't leave it like that. If it was like maybe one time that it happened, I'd have been like, fuck it. But it happened like 10 times. I'm in a terrible mood.
What's wrong?
I was so desperate to feel better that I did body weight exercises this morning. I woke up and I was like, I have to move. I have to do something. So I did bodyweight squats and push-ups because I have not been working out, unfortunately. I think I remember feeling better when I did work out, so I should if I start exercising again, maybe it will improve the situation.
It is a pretty guaranteed thing, just blood pumping through your veins and stuff. Does do something.
That's what they say. Yeah. You know, I went and hung out with an old college friend of mine the other day, and that was fine, but I felt like I had very little to talk about, and that made me sad. That's it.
like things currently going on in your life, or just like topics you didn't have anything particularly interesting to say about anything?
Things currently going on in my life. I'm not doing anything. I'm not meeting new people. I'm not even like reading or watching anything. I just like, I don't know. I'm not doing anything.
But you're making a video.
Got my stupid video. Yeah. But it's been like 5 days since I was working on that. It's been basically done for almost a week. Now what have I got? Well, I mean, I started editing the Slime and Punishment book again. Man, I started this year being like, I gotta finish the Slime and Punishment book. And now it's years coming to an end, and I'm just like, all right, gotta finish that Slime and Punishment book. Twitter's. Everyone says Twitter's gonna die. I hope it does.
Yeah.
I regret every moment I've ever spent on Twitter.
Twitter, like doom and gloom. It's like seems rational enough, but I feel like people are like, I don't know, getting a little too worked up over the idea of Twitter not being around anymore. Like there was a time before Twitter, and we liked that.
Yeah,
that was fine. We're just too used to it, I guess.
I don't really believe that anything is really going to change.
No, I don't know. I think Elon Musk wants to make good on the extreme money he put towards it, so he's going to try and make it as appeasing to advertisers as possible. So the whole like free speech, all the bad people coming back, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to be the same until it just becomes untenable, and then Elon might try and sell it.
The things that are the most bad, the worst things that I'm seeing for Twitter's future prospects are that like it'll throttle your metrics. It'll throttle your visibility if you aren't $8 check mark.
You aren't paying for Twitter. If you aren't paying for Twitter Gold, then your results will be not favored in searches, even if people are following you or something.
I don't like people having check marks. I also don't like the idea that anyone can buy a check mark. I think they should just get rid of check marks if they really wanted to improve the website.
Yeah, check marks have some utility in the proving that this is the actual person. Because, it's,
I guess,
like, there's something for that if it's like a politician or something.
I guess so.
But
I don't like the way they're applied.
You can just buy it, removes that utility, and adds nothing. So now it does
make it worthless.
Yeah.
Any questionable value it might have had, it makes it worthless.
Yeah. I mean, all you'd really need to do, though, to make it completely useless, like even more so, is to just download like a browser extension to block checkmarked people from appearing on your timeline, and then doesn't matter how like high up in the search results they are, they'll just be destroyed.
I mean, if everyone did that,
I'd do that immediately, because all the cool people do not want to pay $8 a month for Twitter.
Yeah, but the average Twitter user is not going to do that.
Well, sure. But like the idea of like, I think it was, I can't remember exactly, but like the idea that if you're following someone, even if you're following them and you're not following this other person, their tweets might appear first just because they have the money, they have the check mark. And I'm like, well, that's essentially the same as like a promoted tweet, which I block anyway. I block as many of those as I can because I don't want to see things that I'm not following because they're ads. And so people paying for Twitter, they are become the ad. So I get rid of them.
I mean, my tweets already don't do well and nobody sees them. So like throttle away, I guess. I won't even notice a difference.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think of Twitter as a career prospect for me. It's just sort of like a place where I post
it's not
like something stupid. And if it's funny and makes someone laugh, that's pretty good. But it's not for like, it's not like a stage where I'm trying to put on a performance. It's just sort of like a waste paper basket where I'm got like a bunch of like shit I'm throwing at the wall and just throwing it in there. And then sometimes there's a banger, and I'm like, hey, yeah. I guess there is like the like posting art is useful, letting people know about things that are going on with your work.
Yeah,
because people don't really subscribe to newsletters and email lists, and
it's funny how many artists use Twitter as their main platform, even though it's really not designed as like an art platform. It's just where the people are. So
yeah.
Just gotta post there.
I'm seeing all like where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna put your stuff? And I'm like, geez, I don't know. I guess Tumblr, because that's the only one I've had experience with. And I guess I'll just try and
I never used Tumblr.
I'll put like,
well, no, that's not true. I used it a bit, but I never like was attached to it.
I got kind of attached to it. It just sort of it's kind of the same as Twitter. You just sort of like, you follow people and sometimes you see things that are stupid and people overreacting about something. And then you post your things and then sometimes you get a lot of likes. It's the most analogous.
Yeah. I feel you, dog. I don't know. I don't want to use Tumblr. I should stop using Twitter. It's a waste of time. I don't even like it.
Yeah.
I don't get anything out of it. I'm sick of it.
I have Discord people I can talk to, which is a finite resource if there's no new people entering, but I don't know. When it comes to like talking to people, having like a community, Twitter is not the place for a community, really.
No, it's really not. I should have made more videos. I should have put more videos on my channel instead of making all the like thousands and thousands of tweets that I've written. Could have applied that time a lot better. Yeah. Coming up on 10 years I've spent on Twitter.
Wow.
No, maybe 9. I mean, some of those times I was more on it than others, but yeah, I just want the 10 years back, please.
I think I started a little later. I was on there in like 2015, 2014.
Right.
I did look. I was looking through some of my older tweets just cause, and I remember that I would only do puns. I would do puns so often and so many of them that I'm like, wow, I was funnier. These are like, they're so all over the place, and a lot of them
I feel like I was funnier.
Like,
I feel like I used to be funnier.
They require a lot of like setup, but they're like, yeah, I read that and I'm like, that's funny. The things I do now are like, haha, what if I was cringe but actually not? What if I was based? Like, what if I was like, I don't know, like the tweets I'm posting now, they're sometimes funny, but like the style of humor is different. I'm like, wow.
I see. I don't know, I haven't really been making tweets lately. I was scrolling through It was for the Slime and Punishment book. I'm formatting the notes. I had written like notes in errata, but I decided that I want to add in some records of like me and Chris's DMs and like the images that she made for me, like the cards that she made out of the comic panels and stuff. I decided to put a section or add that in. So I was going through my old Twitter, replies and stuff, looking for those. And oh my god, I just hate. I'm so annoying. I'm so fucking annoying on Twitter. I'm so terrible. I hate myself.
You have been very aggressive with the replies to people being stupid. If anything, that's the one thing that I like looking at my tweets is times that I'm mean to people. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're bad or times I have enjoyed like going through a thread where you've gotten into a scuffle with someone, like read up everything that's happened, and they're always in the wrong. But yeah,
I'm always in the wrong.
No. Well, I can't remember. Okay. Sometimes, probably, but most of the time you're not.
Maybe sometimes. I mean, I feel like usually when I'm mad with purpose. But that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, I don't know. I just, when I have like a genuine opinion to express, I don't know. I always feel, reading my old tweets, I'm always like, I'm so ham-handed. Like, I'm so bluntly expressing just like a completely banal opinion, but I'm saying it in a way that like it feels like I'm doing something, and like it's so stupid. I should have just not said anything.
Was it banal at the time, or is it just sort of like?
I mean, in hindsight, it seems banal. I don't know. My fucking stupid. When I was really election posting around 2019, it's like, shut up. When I'm really, with the times when I made some like really stupid, I don't know, some garbage that no one cares about, like trans rights or something, or like that Bernie Sanders is good. It's like, why did I bother?
What was the thing you did? Buy Bernie wear Yang or something?
Oh, I don't know. I might have said, yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar. Like how's like what's the joke? What am I doing? What's the bit?
I think the bit was that you liked Yang for a bit, and then you're like, wait a minute, nah.
I know. That's not funny. It's not funny. It's just sad. I don't know. So I felt really just terrible. Felt just really terrible reading through a record of my thoughts and opinions from the last several years. And it just made me think, like, what am I doing? What's the point of me?
Oh no. What's the point of Ben Saint?
It's not good, dog. I don't know.
I mean, I don't
feel too good about it.
Twitter's always been like the quickest and easiest way to be the worst version of yourself.
It is.
So don't feel like that represents you entirely.
Maybe. I don't know. I should live in the real world more.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. I've forgotten how.
I think a lot of people have forgotten how. What do? You walk around and you bump into someone and then you say, "Oh, sorry."
This is what I do. Yeah. What do? You walk around. Do you walk around outside? Do you like? I don't know.
I take walks.
Me and my buddy. We went to a bar, but like we just sat there. We just sat there and chatted, same as we would have at the house. Like they say, like, oh, be social, like go out to a bar. Well, we just sat there and talked, same as we would at the house. We might as well not have left the house. Like, what's the point? What is
nice
the point?
Drinks, nice atmosphere, maybe.
Sure, I guess. I'm just saying it wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't like an opportunity to meet people.
No,
it never feels that way.
I've never experienced a time like that in a bar.
No.
It's sort of a bygone age sort of thing. People already have their friends and go to the bar with them.
Yeah, it seems that way.
And they meet them earlier in life at school or at work. And that's the only two places that seem like the normal place to meet a person. That's not artificial.
Yeah, that's right. Bleak.
See, there was a little bit, like with social media, like Twitter or whatever, you would find like-minded people, you would retweet their stuff if it was good, they might find yours and retweet it, and then you'd have like a Twitter buddy. And then, hypothetically, you go to a convention, they just happen to be there, or that, you can do some sort of like breaking ice, first contact through social media, and then become out in the real world later. Doesn't happen a lot, but it's like, that's something.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I don't really have that. I don't have Twitter buddies. I have people whose posts I admire. But it's not the same.
Yeah. Think about the way the PCP formed. It was kind of that, but on YouTube specifically. We made videos on a social media platform. And it's like, you're good at those videos. Let's meet up on the internet. And we got a Skype.
Let's do a podcast or whatever. Yeah, let's record
We're content creators.
A conversation between all of us. Yes, we are content creators. That was pretty good. I feel like maybe these problems, the problems of not living in the real world, not having opportunities to socialize, I feel like maybe those would solve themselves if I could find somewhere inside of me some sort of passion for anything, and then I would naturally pursue that, and then things would happen around that. But alas, there's nothing there. It's just void. Void. So, it's truly is a vicious and self-compounding cycle that I find, a vortex that I find myself in.
I mean,
and that's why I did push-ups this morning to cope with that.
Cope push-ups are good. All push-ups are good.
Yeah, they felt all right. I would do them again.
I obviously can't speak for you, but surely passion for certain things exists. It's just that they might not be a creative endeavor. They might just be a video game or I don't know, some hobby that you could get into.
I guess I like making gummies.
Yeah.
I guess I like that. It's fine. It's fine and all. I don't know.
Finding a passion when you feel like you have none. Because I've felt like that before as well. Seriously, lacking in a passion for anything. It's wow, why would I do anything? What isn't nothing is gonna lead to anything, and it's gonna, and I'm fucked no matter what. It sucks, it's they're all depression talking points. You might just have a big depression that you need to work through. And then you'll remember that you actually do like things. But working through depression by yourself is very difficult. Because you're in a bad headspace, a space where your conclusions are faulty and based on exaggerated negative outcomes that you're imagining are definitely going to happen or have already happened, and your brain's compromised, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess so. I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
Get you a therapist. for real.
Ugh.
Nah, there it is. You've got a passion for not getting a therapist. See?
Yes, yes. The one thing that gets me out of bed in the morning is the idea that I can spend the whole day miserable. Like, hell yeah. Another day that's gonna suck.
It's really like the obvious thing, and the fact that you don't want to do it means that it's good. It's good for you.
Well, I don't want to do a lot of things. I don't want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, but you don't stand by a bridge and be like, jumping off the bridge.
I know I should jump off.
I know I should, but like, I just don't want to. Like, yeah, no, that's not what I means. It's like when you're like scared of an outcome of something, that means you want to do it because you wouldn't care at all if you weren't scared of failure or scared of it being fucking worthless.
Perhaps I'm scared of my video failing.
Yeah, so that means you care about the video.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I actually like on the one hand, you know, I sort of in the video I explain this, and then I restructured my Patreon and stuff. I explained that like, okay, I want to like focus on these more. I can make more of these. I can make, you know, I can do a reward as like we can have a vote. I'll let people choose a topic for me. You know, I want to lean more into this. And that's like, so on the one hand, it's kind of scary that like, okay, well, if the video completely flops, it's just going to be really embarrassing. And I'm going to be like, well, I guess my whole plan had no legs and I overreached and committed a strategic error. And now I got egg on my face. What a rube. On the other hand, it's like, oh, well, if it does succeed, if the video does really well, a lot of people pledge like, yes, I want to see more like this. I love long YouTube videos. I want to vote on a topic for this idiot to explain. It's like, well, then I gotta do stuff, and that's scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm just the way things have been going cannot continue. You know, like once like other than the Slime and Punishment book, which I have been encountering hurdle after hurdle for, like, what am I really doing? Like, I'm not really working on any videos or something. I'm not like actively drawing comics, although I do intend to do more of that in the future. So it's like, well, if I can turn my biggest hit, the lectures, into like a sort of semi-regular thing that I do for a semi-stable income. It's like that seems like a positive direction to be moving in. So at some point I just decided I'm gonna make this that. I'm gonna do that. Give it my best shot. And I just committed to it. Followed through on that notion, even though I wasn't really feeling it a lot of the time. Even though I'm like, oh, this video is so embarrassing. Like, oh, I look really bad. Like, oh, what am I talking about? Like, oh, I'm repeating myself. I sound like an idiot. I just kind of had to step outside and look at it from like an outsider's perspective and be like, those things don't matter. Objectively, the thing to do is just follow through on this thing that you've already like sunk, you know, so much effort into. You can't give up.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
It's good. It's good to keep busy. I would say if you're like, you're in between projects, that's a moment where your motivation can like plummet because you're not currently working on anything. You have to think.
Yeah.
So you should try doing a small thing that can sort of bridge the gap between the Mega Man lecture being released and whatever you do next. If the lecture is a big hit, you can start working on the next one. If it's a big flop, you might have to do something else. Maybe go back to one of your comics.
Yeah.
But you should have something going on in the background, something you can be saying you're working on. You could do commissions. That's quite an easy little thing.
Oh, I hate commissions.
I know. Sometimes they're really rough because it's like, but like it's something.
I could do them. Like I could do them. I don't really like doing them, so I've avoided it mostly.
Yeah. You could do like a really small, short project, like a short comic, or I guess it's NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. You could write something.
I've been saying this for a long time, I do feel like I should write more. I feel like I should try to write essays.
Yeah. But make sure you're doing it right now.
On the one hand, I feel like maybe I should write essays. But simultaneously I'm like, well, but I'm leaning into the lecture thing. And that's mostly unscripted. So that's kind of like two different things.
Why can't you do two different things?
I don't know. It's just impossible for reasons I don't understand.
You could have lectures and essays.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I guess there's no expectation of like a lecture every month or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to write essays, but again, it's like I just don't care about anything enough to write thoughts about them. I don't know. I wish I had something I was like really excited about, and I'd be like, man, I have thoughts about this thing. I'd want to get them down in like written form, and then maybe record that writing in audio and put it on YouTube or something. That would be pretty great.
I was talking, I don't know if I talked about it on the PCP, I probably did. A little while ago, I had an idea for a Hypocrite video. I spent a little time thinking about like how I would go about getting the data necessary to come to the conclusion. Because it was like it was a lore-based video. It was like trying to stitch Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2 together in a way that they're deliberately unconnected timelines could connect in a hypothetical sense. And it was just sort of like, okay, so I'd have to play both of the games and pay close attention to all the dialogue. Maybe I'd have to go to the Japanese version. There's lots of things I could do. And I was starting to write like a plan. I never really got into actually thinking I was going to do it. But that was an enjoyable little like thought experiment. Like the concept of that. I don't know why I thought of it, but like it's a game I like, and the sequel is like notorious for being similar in so many ways, but completely divorced from the original story from the first game, the sequel. So it's like,
so
why does it look so similar? Why do some characters exist, but the story is completely different universe?
So you just had no intention at any point of actually doing it?
I still might do it. It's not like I've abandoned the idea. It's just sort of like that's the nexus of like a cool idea is something that I'm familiar with from my childhood.
I mean, it sounds. I'd want to see that video.
Yeah.
So I mean, sounds like a good idea to me.
I think I might do it. It just would require a bit of like planning around playing the game.
Can you imagine a Hypocrite video in 2022?
2023 would probably be at this point. Just because I've got like focus on Clarissa first.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
This past week, since the last PCP, I haven't really had a lot of time because I went traveling for a few days on Halloween, and I came back and I was tired from that, and then I just sort of didn't work for the rest of the week. I was just sort of like, hey, whatever. And so I'm going to work properly. I'm going to get back to it properly next week. It's just like a mini holiday, I suppose. But it's close to the end, like it was last week.
Close to the end of the like
of blocking out and sketching.
Blocking. Yeah. Sorry, I should know this. Remind me, how many new pages sketched are there? Like, did you say like 30 or 50?
There's like, I'm trying to remember. Sketching hasn't started. Like the ending of Clarissa.
Blocking.
But blocking it's like 100 and
Oh
100
my
and
God.
something new pages.
Oh,
Maybe
my Lord.
130. I'm not sure. I'll have to properly count them. Because I still might add like a few. I'm close to the final few shots, and then I'm going to have like an epilogue bit, which would be like 5 pages maybe. So yeah, it's a lot. I
That
might
is a lot.
stream it. I might stream the line art or something. Maybe the sketching. I don't know. Sketching is also quite mentally taxing because it's not that you have to figure out where the panel sits in the page layout and what information is being explained in the panel, but you do need to think of how the body looks, how the pose works, what parts of, like, how best to portray the thing that I've already decided must be portrayed in this panel. That's a lot of thought that goes into that. Probably gonna have to draw and redraw things a lot, so maybe I shouldn't stream the sketch, but the line art would be, like, hopefully very nice and chill, and I could just hang out. That could be something.
You know, I tried streaming the other day for RFCK, and it was mostly successful. There was like a moment where the stream died in the middle because my internet just like stopped working for a sec. Still disappointing. I don't.
Do you know why that happens?
Huh?
Do you know why that happens? That seems to have happened just in calls. Like, you can't access web pages, but you're still in the call.
Yeah, oh god, damn it. I'm connected through my I just checked and I've forgotten. Yeah, even right this moment I am connected through my mobile hotspot, which is terrible. It's seriously like every day that like some shit happens and my internet dies and I have to switch to my fucking phone hotspot. And even in that fails sometimes as well. It's honestly like unacceptably bad, and I don't know why like it's been allowed to be this way. But like I don't hear anyone else complain. And I don't know who to complain to. And I don't know if it would accomplish anything. Because I mean, we have internet service, it just sucks.
Yeah, I guess if the plan is not good enough, you just need to try and improve the plan, get a different
Maybe
thing.
I can just tell that guy like, "Hey, I'll just pay extra for a better plan."
Yeah, that's a solution.
Honestly,
do you have like the thing that goes in the wall, the booster?
Yes, but it didn't. Like the guy told me that they already have one. That's like, okay, I don't really understand, or I don't know what the extender is supposed to like extend the signal. He told me that like they've already got an extender, but it's like in his room, like right next to the router or the modem or whatever you call it. And it's like, well, what's the point of an extend? The point of an extender is that you put it further away to extend the signal.
Yeah.
So, like, I think I'm already picking it up out of an extender. I don't know. So, you know what? As I explain it, I'm thinking maybe I should try it, regardless of the fact that he told me it was unnecessary. Maybe I should try setting it up. I tried setting it up before and it didn't work, and I don't remember why it didn't work. But maybe it's worth another shot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would even help, because it's like I'll have a signal. It'll tell me that I have a signal, but then like web pages will just stop loading, or like Discord will just die, or the voice call will die, or the stream will die, even though it says the signal is strong. And other times it says like no signal or like interrupted signal.
Internet Wi-Fi is confusing. I tried
really
to figure it out a while ago, but I don't think I really gained any knowledge. I think the one thing is that there's two types of things. There's a plug in the wall like booster that uses the electricity of the house, and there's an extender which is different, and it extends the Wi-Fi signal somehow with a little antenna. And the booster, you plug the router into it, and that goes into the wall, and then you use the house's like electricity grid, and then out of another socket, you can have the Wi-Fi like be transmitted through the wherever you put the other socket thing. And that's what I have in my room, and my internet's fine.
Shit.
Otherwise, the Wi-Fi doesn't
something
reach.
Like that.
Yeah. You can plug like a LAN cable into like the thing that comes out of the wall. So I can have wired, boosted internet that's not actually connected to the router. But I don't know too much about it. I don't know whether that's a specific brand that's able to do that, or I don't know.
I thought
to
the
research,
internet
I guess.
At my last place was bad. This place is like, it's at least as bad. So that's disappointing.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before we got on that subject? Streaming, Clarissa?
Oh,
Streaming.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just talking about stuff that I was doing. That was it. Clarissa. Oh, I did those commissions. I only got 3 commissions when I had that thing. I did them like immediately, and I was like, okay, I'm on top of things, and I got no more. So if they're still open because I have the time, I can nestle them away as long as I don't get like 50, and I don't expect to, judging by the response. So like 1 or 2 more I can do. So go to Twitter if that still exists. And see my commission thing. It's still pinned at the top of my page.
Yeah. Go to youtube.com/bensaint/megaman lecture to and check to see how many views it's got, and should I be embarrassed of myself or not.
Well, every YouTube video starts with a single view.
A single view, and that's your own, the uploaders.
When you're checking it.
I think that video is probably going to accrue views like steadily over like a long period of time. I don't think it's going to be like a smash like hit out the gate, but I think more people will like discover it. Maybe it'll get a boost for the 35th anniversary later this year,
I do know.
Yeah, that's my hope. But it won't solve my problems. But even if it does well, it won't fix my life.
What are you fighting for?
What am I fighting for? How does he say? For is kind of how it's here's a fact. I talk about the "What am I fighting for" clip a bit in the lecture. Well, there was a new Running Shine video this week that just had like the most briefest little like cutaway reference to a clip of Zero going, "No, this can't be happening." He didn't even play the "What am I fighting for." And I realized that I'm a hack and I'm a loser and I'm not funny because that guy, he's so far beyond my level. He doesn't even have to show the thing he's talking about. We all know about "What am I fighting for." It's passé to even mention it.
Oh, you feel like you're bringing it up would be like, yeah, Ben, we know what we're fighting for.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't need to be stated. It goes without saying, frankly.
Well, I mean, there's always the person who's never seen it before. It doesn't hurt to be comprehensive in a big, huge, hours long video on the subject.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of kidding because, like, I know that, like, sort of the whole point of the video is that it's comprehensive, but also it just doesn't. I just don't feel very cool.
Oh no. But my mom said if I made an 8-hour-long Mega Man lecture, I would be cool.
The only thing that can make me feel cool is if it gets like 1 million views. The only thing that will be cool is if it does really well and I look really famous, and then everyone will be like, well, yeah, this video is stupid and cringe, but like it performed really well, so I guess the guy knows what he's doing. I'm serious. I'm totally serious. Everything I make is bad by default. The only way that I can prove, the only way that I can even suggest otherwise is if it does well in the market. And then market logic trumps like, you know, gut intuition and like feeling in your heart.
Feeling in your heart. The
feeling
truth.
in the heart is that this guy sucks. This guy's not funny.
Dude, I hate this video, but gotta respect the view count.
Literally, yes. Literally, yes. It's my only hope.
I feel completely differently. I think if something's cool and nobody knows about it, I just feel cool to have known about it. It's like, hell yeah.
You know who I think might suck? I'm not saying this for sure, but I'm a little sussed by the umami guy. The guy who makes that clown cartoon.
I don't know.
I think he might be a crypto head, like Elon Musk fan.
I don't know who umami.
Here. You will recognize the character. Let me just get an image here for you. Yes. Yes. Posting now.
Oh, I think I've seen like the first like video in this series or whatever with the
I've seen a bunch of them.
Weirdo clown.
Yes. I think he might be like an NFT Elon guy.
Well, yeah. We're not gonna ruin my day.
I find that a bit disappointing because this guy makes pretty cool. This guy makes pretty cool videos that are awesome. I don't know. This is just I just see him liking some things on Twitter that I'm like, why would he like that?
Little thinky emoji.
No, exactly. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe he follows Elon Musk ironically, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. I guess at this point it is very funny seeing him say anything.
Elon's being very funny on Twitter. He's really going for it. he's having a good one. Mm.
It's almost so absurd that it's not even worth talking about. It's like, yeah, of course. There he goes again, posting a soy jack meme, posting an obvious cope.
Some obvious cope like 2008 like Reddit meme tier thing about like the blue-haired Twitter SJWs won't pay $8. Cringe.
You're right, I won't. What are you gonna do about it?
You're right, actually. I thought it was dumb because obviously I'm not paying $8 for Twitter. But and I hate to say this, maybe it's actually good because I won't pay for Twitter. But other people might, and if other people do, and it makes Twitter work fine, then it's like, okay, other people are shouldering the burden that I don't have to. But no, that's not good. That's not good if it like throttles the views and like makes it uneven. So never mind, it's bad.
It's one thing if it was like there was a tip jar and you could donate to Twitter to keep it afloat, like how Wikipedia works. That doesn't compromise the utility of the platform. Yeah, it just keeps it online, and that's sort of fine. It's the way he's trying to entice people to do it by giving them all of these things that make them like what's the word? Like more equal than everyone else.
Yeah,
it's like that's stupid.
It's like look at all these perks you get if you buy Twitter Blue. you'll have priority tweets. Like, that's great, right? Don't you want more perks for your purchase?
Twitter-
And like, no, I want there to be fewer perks. I want everyone to have the same amount of perks, which is 0.
Like, I think he was talking in a investors thing about like the idea of like long form video on Twitter if you pay.
Genius.
And like streaming and podcasts, but on Twitter. Like,
Finally.
people are going to stop using like these other platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify to put their stuff on Twitter, where they have to pay for the privilege to do that. Whereas like the other places, you don't really have to do that at all. At least with Spotify, I think you have to pay for Spotify, but not on YouTube or on Twitch. You don't need
Tremendous. What a concept. He's gonna build X, the everything app. Just like Dr. Light. He's gonna spend the last years of his life, on his ultimate creation, X, which will be an app that has free will and can decide for itself, right from wrong. Been waiting to make that joke.
It's a good one.
Thanks. I think it's got legs. Anyway, yeah, he's just like, ooh, what functions, what new weird stupid things can we make Twitter do? And it's like, Twitter already does what we want it to do, which is a little place to post like short snippets and pictures. Snippets
and pictures and bits. I follow a lot of people who do comedy. They just make funny tweets, and I'm like, haha. It's just that some of them are hit and miss. The fact that it's just sort of like so easy to like just make a bunch of jokes. It's like I'm in a stand-up.
The trend of people getting verified and then changing their name to Elon Musk.
Oh yeah,
this week has been very good. I've seen.
So is that active? Like the pay for $8, is that already active?
I saw emails about it. I think so. I think it might have happened already. Not sure though.
So you can just buy the thing, get the check mark, change your name and profile picture, and just say something like, haha, pee pee poo poo, I dump in my diaper, I'm Elon Musk, and then you get immediately terminated.
And then you get 10,000 followers of people that think you're the real Elon Musk. Like, Elon, send me Doge, please.
Did you see?
How's Bitcoin doing?
I don't know. Who cares?
I care. I want to see it go down. It is doing. I mean, it's just hovering around 20K as it's been for a while. Never mind.
Have you seen the firings at Twitter? He sort of he fired them based on the number of words they written, and he kept the ones that wrote the most in the coding.
That's so smart.
Which means that the most inefficient coders, the ones who needed to write tons and tons of lines of code to get something to work, are the ones he kept, and all the ones who were efficient and were able to do things smaller were let go. It's the exact opposite of what should have happened.
How do you come up with such a fucking boneheaded scheme?
I don't know. I don't know why he thought. I mean, I thought he would know. I
would say I would. Yeah, it's possible that maybe the least efficient ones would have written the most. I would say at best, there's just no correlation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it depends on what tasks you have to do and like what jobs you're a part of. That the amount of code you write would differ.
Yeah.
It's just sort of. I mean, I guess
that's really what happened. He just fired like half the staff just based on like how many words or lines of code or whatever.
I heard it was lines of code. Maybe it was more rigorous than that, but knowing Elon, it probably wouldn't have been that much more rigorous. Half of them are gone. There's like 7,400 people that work there, and half of them have been fired.
That's very smart. have to be honest, I don't really care that much about the individual employees of Twitter. My heart does not exactly bleed for them just because they got fired. Like, boo-hoo, whatever. Everyone gets fired. Deal with it.
Yeah, and that's not.
But
the
it does.
point.
But it is dumb. It's obviously like a dumb way to manage your business. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's the way it reads to me is that he's so fucked, and he's like, Twitter loses so much money all the time because of how many employees we have and how much money is not coming in. Oh God, please pay for Twitter Blue. We gotta get rid of most of these stuff. Can't pay all these salaries. Oh my God, I'm $44 billion in the red or whatever.
What a freaking idiot. What a freaking nerd. It's so funny. I mean, I guess part of me will feel a little bad if like it does end up just like making Twitter unusable.
Sure, yeah.
So I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope he just doesn't do anything. He just gives up. But he probably won't.
Yeah, I don't know. People have speculated a lot of different things. People are saying that he's going to eventually just sell it at a loss to someone.
Yeah.
Because he can't, but like 44 billion, like nobody's going to pay even anywhere close to that for Twitter.
No. I mean,
so it's going to be a huge loss. So like, he would try his best to get like the $8 a month thing going. Elon Simps will do it. Maybe normal people will think, fine, I guess, and then they'll do it as well. But in the long term, I don't think that's going to be that sustainable.
I just don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. No, I mean, the wasn't like the original amount just like a meme offer. Like he just offered like $420 or whatever per share.
Per share? Oh
yeah, it was like
God.
he made like a meme off. It was literally like he was like, "Hello, I'll buy Twitter at like $69 per share, Lamau or something," and then he just like played chicken with that and pretended he meant it until he eventually was legally obligated to have meant it the whole time. So like, it's definitely a huge loss, and it was always going to be.
Like, I don't really remember like the announcement initially of like, haha, I'll buy Twitter. I have so much money. Like that's vaguely what I remember it. But like,
I read some think pieces about it.
What was his thought process behind even making the joke?
It's that he was just complaining about like Twitter's bad. There's too many bots. Twitter's not profitable. I could run Twitter better than this. But basically just that.
I wonder if he was like, he found this really hot person on Twitter and he was like DMing them, but it was a bot. It was a sex bot. And he was like, fuck. My wife left me and I want to have sex. This sucks. Twitter has too many bots. I keep going up in there and I find bots. Fuck it. I'll buy the whole thing. And then get rid of the bots. So that I can find hot, desperate MILFs in my area.
The bots thing was like big. That was like a big part of the thing. Like he claimed that like Twitter was being dishonest about like the number of bots that like have accounts on there.
That was his initial way to try and get out of it, which leads me to believe that he was like already
it was
stuck.
part of his original complaints about Twitter, and then also when he was trying to back out, he's like, no, they lied about how many bots they have. There's more bots than I was led to believe.
Like, how did he let it get to
even though like
the
his
point
initial
where he needed
reason for buying the platform was that part of it was that like there are too many bots and I want to solve the bot problem. And then they're like, well, okay, now you have to buy it, and he's like, no, I can't buy it. I didn't know there were all these bots.
Like, how did he let it get to the point where he had to start making excuses in order to back out, and it didn't even work? What did he sign?
I don't know. Like, why would you sign stuff? There was like actual documentation. There was at some point a legal obligation, and he just went like, lol, Lamau. Which is pretty funny, I guess.
Broken man.
It's just really funny how like Elon simps are like, lol, he owned them. He really bought it. He owns Twitter now. And it's like, yeah, he really bought it for like 5 times what it's worth because he like
way more
couldn't,
than 5 times.
Yeah, because he like couldn't not do it. He didn't want to do it, but he had to. So like he really, truly, who owned who here? I genuinely don't understand.
He played himself completely and utterly.
Yeah. The Elon. I don't understand that Elon is playing 5D chess. People, truly, it kind of not to really compare them because they're not that similar, but it sort of reminds me of the people in Merriweather's comments who were like angry at someone suggesting a gender swap, and then when he did the gender swap, they said like he owned them. He owned them by giving them exactly what they asked for. Like, he owned the haters. What are you talking about? Boy, oh boy.
Do not make fun of my idol. I tie my self-worth to this man.
I don't. I mean, a lot of it is people that have like financial stake, like they own share in Tesla or they own Bitcoin or they own Doge.
Yeah.
And those people, I mean, I don't agree with them, but I at least understand that like I have a financial stake in this man's reputation as like a wild card genius or whatever. I at least understand the motivation for those people.
Hi-ya-ya.
Hi-ya-ya.
How was your Halloween?
Oh, my Halloween was pretty alright. I just hung out with Munchie, Kazzy, Jones, and I think that was it. And we watched a movie called The Ritual that was not particularly good. It was okay.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah. But you know what? It wasn't that spooky. It didn't spook me too bad the way that like Midsommar did. So it was all right. I made gummy worms. I made like Halloween gummy worms, but I made like way too many of them.
You still have like piles?
I mean, I left them at their place, so they still have like piles. Yeah, I made like a big bowl of them, and like they already had food. So, like, you know, a pretty limited amount got eaten. I mean, oh well. I discovered something. I discovered a hack. I was making those Halloween gummies, and I made a couple different flavors. I made black cherry, and I made orange, and then I made lime. And the lime ones came out much softer, and I didn't like them as much. I liked the tougher, chewier ones. And the difference was, and I think this is what made the difference, they had the exact same ingredients, the exact same amounts of everything in them. The difference was that the black cherry and the orange, I had microwaved, because you have to combine the ingredients and then you have to microwave them and get them hot to like melt it all together. I had microwaved those in a much bigger vessel, because you put it in this vessel and then you put it in the microwave and then it boils and the bubbles rise to the top and then you let it cool off. The lime ones I had cooked in a small container because I had only made half as much, so it had only bubbled a little bit. The other ones I had made in a big vessel and it had bubbled a lot, and I think one just cooked more water off and led to them being denser and chewier. So that made me think like, damn, there's really like, to get like a really consistent result, you literally have to control for like how much do you not just like what temperature, but like how long do you heat it to that temperature, because like the amount of boiling makes a noticeable difference.
I wonder how you could like, could you like weigh it before and after to get to know exactly how much water has been lost?
You know, you probably could. Yeah, you probably could. That's that's something that I've sort of been meaning to do, is like, I sort of have the recipe memorized in terms of like tablespoons. I would kind of like to convert that at some point to like milligrams so that I can have like a more precise like, yeah, it'd be it's more precise that way. Because a tablespoon is a little bit, you can buy different measuring tablespoons and like they're not all exactly the same. They're a little bit sloppy. They're a little bit rough. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Haven't eaten today. Maybe I'll go make some after this podcast is over.
Hell yeah.
The one thing that I still value in this world, the one thing that'll never let me down is gummies. My gummy worms will never abandon me. Unlike everyone else.
Would you still love me if I turned into a gummy worm?
Would you still love it? I would love you significantly more if you were a gummy worm, actually. Did you see Heidi Klum's worm costume?
I did.
It was pretty neat.
That was crazy.
Looks like bacon. Looks
a
like
little bit.
Strips of bacon over the face.
Just fucking lying on the ground talking about it.
You were?
No. I assume I'm thinking of the same thing you're thinking about. Like somebody was interviewing her, she was writhing on the floor.
Oh,
the
I didn't see
makeup
that.
on.
I saw her like walking on like the red carpet.
Yeah.
And I saw her like dancing behind like a DJ's table. This fucking worm costume. Pretty great, honestly.
Yeah, it was really convincing. That she like
much
did the whole like makeup around her face so that it doesn't like it doesn't feel separate.
I'm gonna say that worm costume was very much like in line with the zeitgeist. It's just like exactly what 2022 needed. It was a real hit. It fit the times. So I mean, good job. Proud of her. Oh, there was a new got me his last page, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so news chapter is done. And I think that means that all that's missing are that one page that I think Simsy is not doing anymore. So maybe I'll just ask Kaiju if he wants to do that, because Kaiju was asking me for more pages. But I gotta get on Kaiju's ass because I haven't heard from him in a while. He said he was gonna draw the cover and like one other page. So maybe I'll give him like another one or two on top of that. And then that's like done.
Yep.
Although I see just today Munchie messaged Nate literally half an hour ago. I was wondering about this too, because Nate had showed us the timeline for the project had started, and I haven't heard anything from him in a month.
Yes. He said he was working on a thing, and now he's made a video, which has just come out, which I assume is what he was working on. So
well, he made it was like a stream, right? Did he make like a real video?
He put a video on where he's talking with Sekiro footage about One Piece scanlation stuff.
Okay.
So I assume that's his project. Maybe it's not, but
well, I hope
he said he would focus on the OVA.
I mean, he said he would. Yeah, I mean, he said he was going to finish what he was working on a month and a half ago, and then focus on the OVA. So I don't know. I mean, okay. Well, I guess maybe that was it, and he just said that it was done. But whatever. I hope he fucking does it.
Yeah, we just gotta add like 40 months, 50 months.
Frustrating because back when we initially talked about it, he said, "Oh, maybe I'll have it done in 6 months," and we were all like, "It should not take 6 months." But like, I think it's like been 6 months.
Yeah,
and he still doesn't have it done, even though we all said that we should accelerate the pace faster than that. Maybe it hasn't been 6 months. I think it's only been like 2 or 2.5 or maybe 3 months since he said 6 months. Still. Still.
Yeah.
Whatever. I hope Nate gets back to, you know what? I'll post a little message in there. I'll agree, and then I'll say, "Yeah, what's up?" And that will let everyone know that I'm on the side of good and not evil. Hey, did you see that new Jenny Nicholson video?
I did not. What's it about?
It's good. It is about a weird theme park. It is about the history and the bizarre operations of a theme park called Evermore. It's pretty good. I name dropped Jenny Nicholson in the Mega Man lecture video, and I hope nobody holds that against me and makes fun of me for it.
I hope she sees this, bro.
I mean, she probably won't. It's okay. Whatever. It's not for her.
It's for Mega Man.
It's for my boy Mega Man.
Shout out to Mega Man.
Shout outs to Mega Man. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. Shout outs to Reploids. No, it's not. No, that doesn't work.
What's a Reploid? I forget. I think you've told me before.
What's a Reploid?
If only there was a lecture I could watch
If
to
only,
find
God,
out.
you need to fucking be lectured about it for 8 hours. If you don't know what a Reploid is, X is the first Reploid. Reploids are the robots from X series, the ones with free will.
Huh. So
do you know the difference between Mega Man and X?
I do. So Mega
Okay.
Man doesn't have free will.
No.
He's being controlled by a player character with a controller.
Let me tell you a funny story. In Mega Man 7, there's a part where at the end you beat Wily, and Wily's like, "Sorry, Mega Man, looks like you beat me." And Mega Man says, I'm sick of this. I'm killing you. I'm killing you right now." And Wily's like, "What? You're gonna I'm sorry, you're gonna do what? Huh?" And in English, well, Wily says a robot can't kill a human, and Mega Man says, well, in Japanese he doesn't say anything. In English he says, and this is a famous line, "I am more than a robot. Die, Wily."
Yes, I've seen that before.
Yes, but he doesn't shoot. And I talk about this in the lecture, obviously, but in my opinion, his line implies that he can do it, but the fact that he doesn't do it means that, like, he's wrong. Like, he thinks he can do it, but he can't. He thinks he can go against his programming, but he can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Japanese, he's just kind of like, ... which reads to me like, frustrated acceptance that,
like Wily is right.
I can't do it. No, the robots in Mega Man, they have personalities and stuff. They have like human intelligence, but if they're programmed to do something, they have to do it. And it might even be that like they have to like obey commands. So it might be that like if Wily tells Metal Man like, "Come here, bow to me right now, give me tribute," Metal Man, he's like simply must immediately obey because like he can't go against the will of his creator.
Is it the
I'm not sure
creator,
about-
or is it just humans?
It might be. It's sort of the thing
Does
about
it follow
that.
like
Is that
the Isaac Asimov like rules for robotics, or is it different?
in English, Wily seems to specifically be referencing the Isaac Asimov rules of robotics. In Japanese, he's not. He just kind of says that like a robot just can't disobey a human. Yeah, it might be the case that like Mega Man robots just simply all obey any command that a human gives them.
And they can't harm humans.
They cannot harm humans. Except,
is Dr. Wily allowing them to do that? That's why they're trashing the place.
There's no point in the games where like it's like, uh-oh, Wily has made a robot that can hurt humans. So it seems to me that it's all of the violence is robot on robot. Yeah.
So all the humans are just chilling while like robots are punching each other.
Yeah, like their humans are just like living their lives or whatever, and meanwhile over in the old car factory or whatever, the robots are like going haywire and like blasting each other into molten scrap. And the humans just like, oof, well, I'll just leave them to it, I guess.
The price of cars have gone up.
What do I care whether whether Wily's like robot uprising, like whether he takes control of the old bean factory or not? Like, what do I care which rich industrialist ends up owning these mechanized facilities?
Well, if the mechanized facilities are being bombed and shot with like things ripping the wires out, then the factory's going to be out of commission, and I'm not going to be able to get my latte.
Oh no!
I'm going to be so
prices are going up.
I can't believe these prices and values.
Yeah, I think that I think Wily's robots they wreak havoc and they do destruction, but I'm pretty sure they don't like kill people. Even
they're like gremlins.
In X, I mean, Reploids are basically human. They just don't have blood. And like Reploids die in X, but humans never do. Like there just simply aren't any humans around anywhere in X, except for Dr. Kane. He's like literally the only one. And then he stops showing up in X4.
I suppose it's smart too, because it's a cutesy looking robot series for kids mostly. You can't really have humans dying a lot, so you just don't show them.
Yeah, I think they use the fact that this is a story about robots to be like, well, we can have them die and they can kill each other.
Yeah, like it can be really dramatic, but for babies and
yeah,
but it's little kids,
it's,
and that makes them cry.
We can get away with more grimdark violence a little bit because technically they're not human. They don't have blood or whatever.
If Bambi was a robot, they would actually show the bullet entering. It wouldn't just be off screen. Oh, Bambi's mom, I should say. Bambi's mom was a robot, but Bambi's normal.
And then in Zero, they just give the Reploids blood anyway. I didn't even mention that. Damn it, I could have mentioned that as another thing that Reploids are more human-like in Zero. Yeah, they literally bleed blood.
Do they have to add the blood from a blood bank?
It might not literally be blood. It's just when you slice one with your Z-Saber, a big geyser of red fluid spurts out.
It's just it's like chili oil.
Delicious. Yeah, Zero has the cool anytime when you kill anything with your Z-Saber, it has a custom sprite where its body is split in half, and you can sort of see its red robot innards along the split line, and it falls in two pieces. It rules. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Watch my fucking video, please.
Okay.
Thanks. Oh man, I don't know if I hope there's no more errors in it. I mean, I found those errors going through it. Adding the timestamps. It's possible that there are some that I missed, but how many times can I watch through the video looking for more and more errors? There comes a point where I just have to be I can double check and triple check and quadruple check, but is a quintuple check just too much? Is it just diminishing returns at that point?
I think as long as you can hear your voice,
yeah,
and it, you didn't accidentally cut like a 5-minute thing completely out and it's just black video of no audio. As long as it's like functional as a video, I don't think you need to worry too much.
Yeah. I had thought that I had already watched it through and like noted down every error that I found and went in and fixed all the errors. So like I already had double and triple checked it, and then just in doing the time stamping, I just discovered like, oh, some new error was introduced at some point. Bummer.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult thing because like if you've got like tons of different layers and such a long timeline, and you move stuff and you don't move everything, like every time you go in to change something, there's a chance that you'll create a new error that you'll not know about until you're watching it for the next time.
Yeah, and like I just tried to be really careful and like make sure that I was like carefully selecting everything and like nothing was not getting moved, and just I tried to move everything in like as big chunks as possible to avoid like some small part getting knocked out of whack. I mean, I think it was fine. It should be all right. The worst errors that I found were there was one little bit. It only lasted like a few seconds where like it cut to black in between cuts. And there were a few times when there like a clip would be like cut off a little bit early, or a clip would fade into the next clip when it was supposed to be a cut. There were a handful of those. And those are like not even very concerning. Like you almost wouldn't even notice those if you weren't paying attention. So if there's a couple more of those, like I don't even really care. No, but there's every time that I like pause the video and I have myself play in an audio clip where I recorded a line like clarifying something, I had the flash stopper sound effect and visual effect start playing over the footage. And the problem was that for the first like 3.5 hours, the sound would play at the right time, but the visual effect would start about 10 seconds early and it would end about 10 seconds early. And it just looked wrong. Yeah. So I guess just like part of that one layer that one effect was on just got jostled. And that's how it happened, probably. Damn.
That's the way the cookie rumbles.
True. Damn, we're only an hour and a half in, and I feel like I've run out of things to say. Oh. Just like talking to John, just doesn't got nothing to say. Oh, my life. Empty, void.
Void.
There's not even any like juicy tricksy drama to be upset about. Damn. Now what without that, what do I have?
Yeah. You gotta manufacture some.
Yes.
What devilish plan is cooking in Ben Saint's head?
What if I went to her house and lit fire to it?
The drama is that Ben Saint's in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have too much to talk about. I was just having a week. It was a very good week. I was very happy. Feeling very gay right now. Feeling very like homosexual. That's fun.
All right. I'm feeling you. Do you want to explain more?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to explain more about that. I talked about the gig last time, didn't I? That was the only other thing that was happening.
You did talk about the gig. I'll just tell you. All right. If you'll, I think I know what you're talking about, but I won't say it. But I think you did talk about it on your Paid Money Spenders podcast, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You seemed, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you announced the Money Spenders podcast, and I said, I think I know what's up.
Yep. Patreon.com/give-and-take.
Yeah. Do not watch the Mega Man lecture. Listen to Gibbs' Money Spenders podcast. Yeah, you can only do one or the other.
Yes, one is like 45 minutes.
Right. But it's such a roller coaster. I haven't listened to it actually. Buh.
Yeah, yeah, you know, it's I don't know how to approach the subject on the PCP. I guess
I get you.
Yeah. It's private, and that's why it's on the Money Spenders podcast. Go there if you want to learn about that. Not a great pitch because you no idea what it is, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable to me. Well, I'm trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel of any thoughts that I had this week or new shit going on, and there's just not anything.
Yeah, the biggest thing has been Elon and the Twitter stuff.
Yeah, which I have not been posting much on Twitter, and I think I should keep it that way. I will post a teaser announcement when the lecture is out. I will make a little post about that. But other than that, I don't really want to be on there much anymore.
Inscryption. Sully got me Inscryption as well.
Who did?
Sully, I think is Solace.
Oh, Solaru.
There's many names. They go by
right.
Yeah, I played that for a bit. I don't think I have gotten to like the big twist, but I've died once or twice, and I think I get the gist. Is there's like room to talk about it?
I would love to hear how far you've gotten and what you think about it.
Well, I enjoyed my first run. I felt like I was pretty smart. Using the things, getting the wins, dodging the bad things, and I died. It's like
sure.
you know, you have little animals, and they do damage, and they have health, and you can block enemies, and some of the enemies can fly over you and hit your life points, like in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, it's more like Magic the Gathering.
It's more like everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. You have to sacrifice your little guys to get blood that you use to put down a big guy. If there's a wolf, he has 2 blood. And so the thing of like drawing from your hand, your deck, or getting a squirrel, which costs nothing to put down but can be sacrificed to get 1 blood, is sort of like that's a cool choice. That's a cool dynamic because like you're guaranteed something, or you could get a secret mystery prize that you already know what it could be. And you build your deck as you go.
Yeah.
There's items and things,
and it's like the squirrel can. Like, do you need to pay for something? Well, then you got to get the squirrel. But like, what if the stuff in your hand is too expensive? Maybe you'd be better off drawing for like a less expensive creature card, like something that costs 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just need a chump blocker. Maybe you just need a squirrel for a chump to block an attack this round or something. And you might as well just use a squirrel for that because you don't want to sacrifice like a real creature.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's got a nice level of consideration, thought process. What's the word I'm looking for? You have to think a bit, and it's not totally down to what card you draw. Before you draw a card, you make a choice, and I like that.
Yeah. Strategery.
And then I got to the angler. I beat the first boss on my first try, and I was like, hell yeah. Prospector, mule, got him.
Mhm.
I got all the way to the angler, and then I didn't really have any good cards, and I died. And then
Okay.
the guy, he grabbed me, and I knew that you could get up off the table and walk around a bit. And there's like
Yeah.
puzzle.
You hadn't
puzzle
really
boxes.
done that?
I had done that because he asked you to get the candlestick or something.
Wait,
and
so
bring
that
it
was
back.
your first run? You made it to the angler?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I enjoyed
It was further
like
than I made it.
yeah, I felt like I was doing pretty well because after the first boss, he gives you 2 health. I think I had lost 1 health, or 1 life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he restores your candles.
yeah, so that was fun. That was
He
good.
makes you go and like get the candle off the table, right? He's like, go get the candle.
Go get the candle. You can walk around, and I saw that there was a clock you could fiddle with. I saw there was a globe that you could spin. So other little things you could click on. Couldn't do much, but I'm like, okay, so there's puzzles here.
Yes.
And then I lost at the angler, and he dragged me away. And this is the first death, so it's like it's not too much of a spoiler. But he takes out a camera and he takes your picture. Or before that, he asks you to make a card, your own death card.
Mm-hmm.
And so, based on the cards you've picked up, you have to choose like the cost and the power. And lucky for me, I managed to get like a 0 cost, and like 2/3 because I had the wolf. So 0 cost 2/3.
What was the 0 cost?
I think it was from
0 cost card.
The 0 cost was, I think, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was the Gek. It was something that's really small that I could use as the cost of the thing.
It might have been the Gek. The Gek is a free card.
Yeah. So, and then it says write your name. I was like, okay, it's Gib. And so I became a card. He took my picture, and I found my card in the next playthrough. And he talks to you like you're someone else. So I'm like, okay, I see how it is. You play the game, and if you lose, you become a card. And some of the other cards talk to you. So they presumably have lost the game before, and they're trapped.
You mean, is it Stoat? Stoat and...
The Stoat, the Otter, and the Stink Bug is the 2 I found. I found the Stink Bug in the safe, because I figured out you could look in the book. You see the safe thing. It's like, oh, hell yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's basically where I am. I died again.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember what else happened. You just took my picture again. But then there was a new thing. There was totems, and there was bones. And I'm like, okay, you're adding new gameplay mechanics every time I die, so I guess I have to die a lot or something.
Oh, right. Yeah, you start out not knowing about bones.
Yep. So, I guess I just sort of have to play a lot.
What totem did you get?
I got a squirrel, and it makes...
did you find it on a table or something?
I don't remember. I did the thing where you go to the little cabinet and you do that puzzle where you have to like make the counter go to 5, and then you can open the drawer.
Yeah.
I figured all those out, and I was like, I'm smart. And I got all the things from the drawer, and I think after my second death, he says, now you will create your own totem. Choose the face of the totem, or something. And I made a squirrel that turns... When the squirrel dies, it turns into a bee, and it goes into my hand. I was like, okay, maybe that's useful.
The beehive. You gave it the beehive sigil.
Yeah, I think.
I see.
Which was a bad idea, because I want to sacrifice squirrels, but if you sacrifice them, they don't turn into bees. They have to die. So that was the stupidest thing.
Yeah. The bee happens when they get hit, not when they die. So yeah, that's actually a pretty bad synergy. Although it would be good if it made a bee when they died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that I think I stopped there because I was like a little tired. I do want to play more. I do want to find out more of the story, because like Inscryption, it's like he's inscribing your name onto the cards, and it's like I noticed that you cannot, as far as I know, you open up the game, there's a guy who says, okay, let's see what this is all about. And it's like playing on a CRT screen, some guy's voice. So you're playing a game wherein somebody's playing a game diegetically, and you can't click new game. You can only click continue game, even though it is the beginning, and there is no like you click
that
continue.
That really like frustrated me at the start. It's like, why is the it should have been more obvious that like, okay, this is sort of meant to be this way. But it really
I was a little confused at
something
first.
wrong here? Like,
I did think something was wrong. I asked Steve, and he said, "No, that's normal." So I'm okay. So I'm like, yeah.
You can make some busted death cards.
Yeah, I think I don't know yet because I haven't played through my second life whether or not both of my death cards are like obtainable. Maybe it's just the most recent one. But
no,
like
they're all floating around.
Okay.
They all stick around.
Okay, so that's so like the better cards you get, the more powerful you can make some of them with the sacrificing and the putting around the campfire and stuff. Like the more powerful cards you might have at the end that you can attribute to your death card. And then that can be as useful progress for later. You can build up an advantage over time over deaths. So I'm like, okay, that's neat, I suppose.
Yeah, I think on like one of my first runs, I managed to make like a free, basically like a free grizzly bear or something, like a free 4/6, and that's just so busted.
It's so busted, but the annoying thing is that it's also a card game. So you might not pick it up before you die, and I'm like, well,
yeah, I still lost. I still lost, even though I had that card available, because like, you know, it might not be available at the right time. I lost a lot on the thing after the angler. Me personally. So I just didn't. The angler is a little. The angler's a little tough. Although, wait, did you lose on the angler?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So
there's sort of a way to kind of solve him.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I think I figured it out. I think the second time I died was again at the angler, and I'm like, okay, so he's gonna take one card every so often. I have to, and whenever I put a card down, he changes to that card. So as long as I can put down a card that becomes useless on his side of the board, that'll fill up his side of the board with useless cards. But then I will need to fight through them in order to hit them. So I probably need a bird, and I didn't have a bird at the time. And also,
flyers are helpful against the angler, definitely.
And so I'm like, okay, I don't have a good deck, but also I don't have anything to defend myself, and I can't really play anything because I had my hand was full of things that were too expensive. So I had to keep drawing squirrels, and I just lost. So I'm like, fuck it. Yeah. My deck is bad, and I hate roguelikes.
I'm a little disappointed that you have not made it further, because there are just quite a few things that I can't mention. But so I'm limiting myself to non spoiler talk is a bit tricky. But I mean, you know, you've been playing like the actual like card game,
yeah,
and like it's good. It's a good game. The totems can be really. At some point, I got a like the 3 blood drops. You ever had the goat?
I got the goat in my deck, and he never appeared. I never got him.
I got I got that 3 blood sigil on my squirrels, so all my squirrels sacked for 3 blood.
Oh my god, that was
really good. The best one, I think, is have you found the cockroach?
I think so. I don't think I chose him when I saw him.
The cockroach he's all right. His sigil is really good if you can get him on another creature, the one that's just like when it dies, it comes back to your hand. If you can get that on your squirrels, like you just win. Because like it means you can just reuse your squirrels indefinitely.
Oh yeah. Well, then you'd also need to make sure you have like high blood cost, powerful beasts available to actually put down.
Yeah, I mean preferably. Also, field mice give us, I don't know what the sigil is called, but field mice gives a similar sigil that's like, when you play it, a copy of it appears in your hand, which basically turns all your squirrels into 2 squirrels, which is pretty good. Have you found any cards with sigils that you particularly like?
I don't know yet. It's, I like the one... I guess I like the one where if you sacrifice it, the little black cat you get near the beginning.
Oh, the cat, yeah.
You sacrifice it, he comes back. And so you can put him again.
The sacrifice one, that sigil's really good. The best thing is to sack the cat to another card to get it on like a better card that actually does something.
Yeah, I think I did that the first time. Or maybe the second time I was like... confronted with the sacrifice combine cards thing. I'm like, wait, if I put this thing on this thing, this thing, then it's just a straight upgrade because the thing. Yeah, I think I put it on the Gek. The Gek, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Something that costs 0, and then it can come back.
Actually, yeah, that's really good because then you don't even have to pay to play it.
Yeah, so I play it and I can kill it. I can play it and kill it and play and kill it.
Even just putting it on like the stoat or the toad is like it's still good because like then instead of like wasting a space of your board to just have like a sacrificable cat, you actually it's on like it's the same cost because it's 1 blood but also it's a creature that is actually like doing something. Yeah.
I have not. I've put cards on the fire near the campfire. I have not once had my card get eaten, but it's always implied that they want to do that and they almost do it, but then I leave. Can that happen, or is that just a bait and like a scary thing?
I never had it happen to me like during the main game. In the post game challenge modes, I have had it happen, so it can happen. I don't exactly know how likely it is.
Didn't know there was a post game.
There's challenge modes.
Like you start with a specific deck, you gotta win.
Yeah, there's different starting decks. The rules work a little bit differently. Like, you can only use the fire twice. You can't. I think you can use it up to like 4 times. But I mean, it's risky every time in the main game. There's like different cards available. Some of the numbers are tweaked. It's called Casey's mod is the challenge modes. Have you used like a mantis or a mantis god?
I think on my 3rd life it says choose your favorite team, and I chose bug and I got a mantis. I've seen mantises used. He texts left and right.
Yeah. I
didn't really get a chance to play with it though. I think that's when I stopped. On my 3rd life, I was like, okay, well, this isn't going well immediately because I chose a bad thing for my squirrel, so my totem is kind of useless.
At some point, I realized, and the game like kind of mentions this too at certain points. Sometimes you want less cards. Sometimes you want like. There's one that lets you sacrifice a card to like the Lord of Bones, and there's one and the ones that combine 2 different cards into one. Sometimes you want to go for those. I mean, because the combo can be good, but also just because it like means less cards. So you can like get your weaker cards to just like you don't have them anymore because like you don't want to draw them.
Yeah, that is a thing. There's only so much space on the board, and 1 card per turn. It's like sometimes you just get 3 things that you can't play.
Like if you're like if you're getting to like the end game and you still have like an unupgraded like Stoat and Toad, like you don't even want to be like wasting turns like spending a blood to play a freaking 1-2.
Yeah.
They're just gonna outpace you like that. A freaking 1-2, give me a break. Well, I will be. I'll ask you more about it later when you've made a little more progress and maybe uncovered some stuff.
Is it gonna be a skeleton? Is there gonna be a skeleton at closet?
I'm not telling. I'm not telling if there's a skeleton.
Is the crazy guy who's you're playing with, is it actually a mirror and you're playing with yourself?
Imagine not knowing who that guy is. Imagine. I can't.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's purple guy.
It is very Five Nights at Freddy's looking. Five Nights at Freddy's looking ass room.
I do like when he talks, that low, like crackly noise. That's a good noise sound effect.
The third boss has a like music that is like ingrained into my mind forever because I heard it so much because I died so many times. I lost a lot, actually. I died a lot of times. Man, have you you probably have not played any ant cards, right?
I think I got an ant queen and an ant at some point, and I put them down, but I don't think I won. Well, I think they didn't really do anything. I didn't have, like, because I could tell what you want is to have many ants, to bolster all the other ants. Mm-hmm. And they added the one, I think.
In Casey's mod, one of the starter decks you unlock is like an ant deck, and it's busted. It's OP. It's like way too good. I think it starts you with like an ant queen and a flying ant, and like with just those cards, like you play the ant queen, you get another ant in your hand, or like first, and then you play the worker ant and the flying ant, and suddenly you've got three power cards on your side, and you just win. It's good. I like ants. All right. Sick.
Yep.
Sick. We'll have to resume our Inscryption discussion later. What do you think about voicemails?
Yeah. Let's voice.
Let's voice. It looks like the first one is it's two Imgur links. Or no, it's two of the same Imgur link for some reason. It's Ben St. Baldark at letsgo.com.
Breaking Rad.
Wait, I saw this somewhere. I mean, it looks good.
Looks very good.
Is it cheesy? What the fuck are you talking about? That's really good. This is awesome.
Meth gummy in your
gummy.
in your underwear with the gun.
Yeah, iconic. I mean, that's a look that I would have in real life. I like it. I like this a lot.
It's very nice.
Works. Yeah, thank you. Next one is called Pedantic Acronyms Bullshit. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I just realized there's this big double standard on the accepted pronunciations for GIF and Imager. Like, people will say, well, GIF is supposed to be said with a hard G because the G stands for graphics and not giraffics. Except that's just not how acronyms work, because otherwise scuba would be pronounced scuba since the U stands for underwater. Or they'll say, well, it's because G words like gift and girl have a hard G. Never mind that, giraffe and other words probably exist. And not to mention, like, what the fuck kind of word would be spelled with a GU, but is pronounced Jew like how we do with Imager? Anyway, I think I can say that I settled this debate forever, and if you disagree with me, then suck it, losers.
Solved. Doesn't the creator of the GIF format say GIF?
I think he does. I still
Yeah.
say GIF because I'm used to it and I don't care.
It looks like GIF to me, so I say GIF.
Yeah, I think there's an argument that because it looks so similar to the word gift, it's just missing a T, and giraffe is a little further away from what it looks like. That saying GIF is excusable at the very least, understandable, like assumption to make.
I mean, why does the guy that made the acronym get to decide how it's pronounced?
He doesn't.
Who gave? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just looks like GIF to me, and to Imgur is obviously meant to be derivative of the word image. Therefore, I say Imgur. I don't say Imgur.
I did not know scuba was an acronym.
You didn't?
No.
Did you know laser is an acronym?
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it stands for.
Yeah. I remember that the U stands for underwater.
Something underwater being... something...
Okay.
Forget it.
Technically, the word scuba is not an acronym, but it comes from the acronym for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. But you don't write it with like all caps. You just write the word scuba.
Yeah,
capitalized normally.
It has become word.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gives weekly reminder to watch Squat Cobbler. I already forgot what that is.
Did we talk
about that?
Isn't it just like a pie that you sit on?
Squat Cobbler, Better Call Saul. Is that a spoiler? I've only watched the first series of Better Call Saul.
Oh, right. Oh, I remember. It's just, it's from a scene in Better Call Saul. I don't know. There's
I'll get there.
I think I gotta watch I still haven't watched like the last 2 seasons.
But why? What if I feel something?
It'd be embarrassing. It'd be so embarrassing if I cared.
You got caught red-handed showing feelings.
Next one is called Lamau. Nate got a video out before you, Ben. Get wrecked. Yeah, a video that he fucking spent like 6 months working on instead of doing the OVA. I don't care. Next one is called Am Late on the Episodes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is the paladin aesthetic more of a rowdy or killer thing?
Paladin.
Obviously, it's killer. Killers are holy warriors for God.
But they're evil. They're evil holy warriors.
Yeah.
So they're opposite of a paladin. A paladin would arrive in New Los Angeles City and would be disgusted about everything he sees and would want to cleanse it. Just like Christian.
They're blackguards who think they're paladins. And they're right.
Yeah, I guess if there's like an aesthetic similarity, it would be more killer than rowdy. Rowdy would be like the drunken bar thug in a D&D campaign. The bard more so than the paladin.
A bard or a barbarian?
Yeah,
definitely.
The Pinkie Pie of the group.
Definitely killer. Next one is called Cave. 3, 2, 1, go.
Have you seen Man in Cave?
Man in Cave? No. Usually cave empty.
Have you seen Cave-In Man? He's the new boss in Mega Man 12. Cave-In Man. He makes the roof fall on top of your head.
And there's no way to escape.
No, he brings the whole house down on top of both of you. The next one is it's a YouTube link.
But they do say please weigh in, so maybe
please weigh in. All right, let's see what it is. At least there's a question.
Which main 6 is the most thick? Okay, I'm not going to watch this on the podcast, but...
I'm not going to watch a video from Quantum Hippologist.
Why? Who
The
are
most
they?
the most thick is I would say Pinkie
Oh my
Pie.
god. I'm scrubbing through. There's numbers involved. There's algebra.
Wait, really?
There's data collection. This is funny. This is probably funny. I would say it's a toss-up between Applejack and Fluttershy. I think Applejack, just because of her leg. When you think of thick, you usually think thigh bigness, and Applejack is usually portrayed as having a huge ass because of all the bucking she does.
Well, I think it's Pinkie Pie because she's black. She's got curly hair. She's got type 4 hair or whatever.
Type
also,
4?
because she eats. Also, yeah, I've seen like an index for like curliness of the hair. She's into the black hair territory. I would say texturally, but more importantly, she just eats a lot of cakes at Sugar Cube Corner. She's always eating.
Yeah, but she's
always eating confections.
I would always say that makes her like more fat in the belly than in the thighs necessarily.
I mean, it's both.
You could argue.
I mean, it's both.
I would say Pinkie Pie's close. I would say Applejack is the thickest. Actually, no.
Well,
She's more lean. She would be more lean because she exercises more.
I think she would be more lean. I mean,
She would be more lean. She'd
kind
be
of muscular,
big, big and muscular, but still lean. I guess Pinkie Pie is
Yeah.
pretty good of a choice.
I could see Fluttershy, but I think it's Pinkie. That's my pick, though.
Yeah, I'll say Pinkie Pie as well.
Oh my god. Sorry, this is not relevant to anything, but I just see 2 days ago, The Real Jim's uploaded a video called The Simpsons versus Death Note. So that's...
Oh yeah,
Wait,
wasn't there like a Simpsons
the hell?
episode that was a Death Note parody? Or did I imagine that?
What?
There's like a Simpsons
Oh my-
episode where Lisa gets a fake Death Note that makes something else happen, but it's like drawn in an anime style.
That looks awful. I hate it.
It looks very strange.
I don't like it at all. I don't like when The Simpsons does things that are too wacky. I come to a franchise show for a familiar experience, and by that I mean I don't, because I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. I don't want to see that. It's just hideous. Hideous.
Yes. They should have
okay.
stopped at Mr. Sparkle.
Absolutely. Next one is, if Tom comes back, will you redo the intro? No.
Redo the intro as in like the music?
Yeah, I think that's what they mean.
Just have a little bit of Tom speaking over it.
Maybe if he made a new intro, be like, okay, I can accept a change. But I'm not going to go out of my way to like make a whole new intro just because Tom showed up for an episode. That's my answer. Did you see Tom's a furry now? Did we talk about that already?
What do you mean now? He's been working on Azumi for years.
He's out. He's out of the closet.
Oh my god! I didn't even know he was in.
He's an owl. His Sona is an owl.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Which I guess I see it. I was a bit surprised that it wouldn't be a raccoon, but sure, okay. Owl is fine.
I guess furry is when you have an OC. When you have a Sona, I mean.
Furry is when you have an OC, yeah. Next one is Ben's weekly reminder, play Deltarune Chapter 2. Okay. Ben's weekly reminder, catch up on One Piece. Okay. No spoilers, favorite character in Inscryption and fave card. I mean, if it's no spoilers, then that's pretty tough.
I don't really have a fave yet. I guess I like the drawing of that like pathetic little guy that grows bigger. I don't think I've used him yet.
The drawing of the pathetic little guy that grows bigger.
It's like when you can choose a card from a bus. There's like, oh, there's Gek, there's something else, and then there's the little guy that has the sigil that makes him grow after one turn.
Oh,
but he looks like he's like in a Family Guy death pose, and he's like so pathetic looking, and I forget what it's called.
Wait, are you talking about like the useless insect?
Yeah, something useless. He's called like a useless little guy. Or no. Wait, I don't know. I can't remember.
I think you're talking about the useless insect or the pathetic insect or whatever it's called, which I have like never successful. I have like literally never successfully used that card. I think maybe one time.
Yeah, I just like the way he looks. He's funny, but I never chose him. Pretty good.
Favorite card? Yeah, I think favorite card would have to be. I do really like the cat. I like the sack sigil a lot. I actually really like the cockroach and field mice because their sigils. I put their sigil on something else to just get like lots of reuse out of things. What's one card that when I find it I'm like, fuck yeah, game over. I've won.
I like my own death card because that was cool.
Oh, I like corpse maggots. The it's probably not as good as like Undying or whatever the cockroach is called, but the one that like when a creature dies, the card with the sigil comes into play immediately. That one's actually really good. You put that on a really expensive card and you can just get like a real good card on the board for free. I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's my answer. I can't answer a favorite character without spoiling it. I'm sorry. Next one is called Reggie Draco is made out of crystallized dragon energy. Yeah, makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
No, that makes perfect sense. Of course, it's crystallized dragon energy. I mean, what
define dragon energy though. Like, what is a dragon?
It's like when a dragon does something, it uses dragon energy to do it.
Like, what separates a dragon from a bear or a lizard or a fucking anything? Are they mythical, but they're not like mythical legendaries? They're just a mythical being? Do they come from space? What is so special about fucking dragons?
They're just a special kind of guy. Just like bugs. Just like bugs are just guys, but they're like a particular special kind of guy with special energy.
I would love to see a Reggie
bug energy.
A Reggie bug that's made of crystallized bug energy.
Honestly, yeah, why not? It's like, it's just like that episode of the Power Rangers where they cloned the Pink Ranger and Zordon had to be like, we have to put a stop to this. Too much pink energy is dangerous. There's gonna be a frickin' like nuclear meltdown if we don't like pare these Pink Rangers down to one. Well, it's the same with dragon energy. Like, too much dragon energy is dangerous, so you have to crystallize it to stabilize it. And that's Reggie Draco. Of course.
You just plug like a little... You get like little alligator teeth, like wires, and you clip them to a dragon tooth. You can power your generator with it.
That's right. Dragon energy. It's renewable.
Dragons in series. Dragons in parallel.
What time is it? It's 12:20. I woke up
Hammer
early
time.
today. I woke up before I was supposed to. Woke up because like an hour before my alarm went off, and I couldn't go back to sleep. Okay. I'm getting tired, is what I'm saying. Next one is called Next one is called My God, Cheesy is such an idiot. Leave Cheesy alone. Leave Cheesy alone. He's hustling. And I respect it. Happy birthday, Ben. Okay. The next one is called FR. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, guys, enough of this blabbering. Either talk about weed or let's move on to the voicemail.
We are listening to a voicemail.
You are a voicemail. We're in the voicemails because you're
out of your damn mind. Out of your damn mind.
We would never talk about weed. We don't do weed. I mean, except that one time.
I don't do weed. Everybody else does weed, and I'm just not that big a fan. I've just come to accept that I'm just not that big a fan. And people say, no, you just didn't do it right. No, you just didn't. You just haven't tried it enough. I'm like, no, I've tried it enough. No, I know what it's like. No, I'm good.
I have enjoyed weed, but I think it's a little hit and miss whether it's like the right dosage and it gets me exactly how I want. Whereas with alcohol,
it's all the right. You know that the right dosage is always more.
well, it's that I can have like an entire beer, and it's more mass per inebriation. So like
you don't really have to think too hard about it. You can just drink and like
it's like
judge later.
It's the stopping at the exact right moment is a lot easier with alcohol because you feel it quite quickly. With weed, you take however you take the weed, and then over a longer period of time, then you slowly realize that you took one too many of the thingies. And it's like, well, now I'm just stuck like this. That sucks. I wish I would have known a little earlier how much weed was just right. Obviously, over time, you'd get a sense of it, but like with alcohol, you can just stop a beer halfway if you're feeling too much.
Yeah. I mean, beer, you kind of have the same. I mean, you can end up drinking too much.
They're not equivalent experiences either. I'm just saying that. I feel like I'm more in control of having fun with alcohol.
When you're taking like an edible, you pretty much have to decide completely ahead of time, like how much am I going to take? I'm gonna commit to an amount like right now.
Yeah.
And then I mean you can take more later if you want. I get you. Makes sense. Next one is called Ben. We all knew it was a Mega Man lecture. Lamau. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there's no audio. No, you didn't. I mean, maybe you did. I will admit.
I think people could have guessed because you were talking about doing a big video.
Yeah.
And certain things were ruled out, and also you were talking about you played Mega Man on stream a little bit.
I did. Yeah, some people did guess it, and that's fine. But not everyone did, and I saw other guesses that were not right. So not everybody knew. Not everyone knew. And even the ones that did know, that guessed it right, they had to doubt. They had to doubt themselves, and that was the point. The point was not that like no one can know that I'm making a Mega Man video. The point is, but they don't know for sure. They'll never know for sure until I tell them. Next one is called VVV110522. Hope I didn't miss it at uploadingthemorningof.com. This is probably some Vinny stuff.
Some Vinny stuff.
Most.
I look forward to Vinny comics. I really like him.
Yeah. I'm holding this Sunday morning. Hope I didn't miss it. There you go, your COVID vaccine. Thanks. You may have a small sting for the next few days in your arm. Goodbye, sir.
Pose with the syringe up like that. Yeah.
So sad.
I thought you're supposed to be like blushing. Like, ooh, sexy nurse.
Oh, maybe. And then, oh no, am I getting myocarditis? Thump, 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 cough, thump.
Oh no.
Just another day of suffering for old Ben Saint. And then, ew. Gross. Look at my little butt.
You stink? Is that the stink lines?
It's that, or it's maybe like a vape scene.
Oh yeah.
Or something. It's probably both, honestly.
This is so unflattering.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You're in your bed tweeting with your butt out.
Gross. Welcome to Ben Saint's Mega Man Comprehensive Lecture. We will be going into why you should care about Mega Man at all. Mega Man was a video game character. You know, one thing that was missing from my lecture was drawings on the board and diagrams. And then in Sob, Mega Man 04, I'm sorry, it's so crippling and depressing. I cry every time I get into this game. The next 5 minutes of the video is going to be me crying uninterrupted. Wah! Hey, the end of Mega Man 04 is wicked good and wicked cool, and it's wicked sad, and it rules. Man.
I hope you wore this sort of outfit.
I unfortunately did not really have like a costume or anything. I wish I had. I just wore my a freaking plane going by. I just wore my my purple suit with the Lord of Ghosts pin.
Yes.
Yes, and
Ripping that ghost.
Ripping the ghost, and I had my Z Saber, of course. I had my Z Saber, and I had my little energy tank sippy cup that I was drinking gridlock energy out of. So you know, I did a little something.
I like the idea of using a Mega Man arm cannon as a laser pointer.
Would have been pretty cool. Would have been rather difficult. Did you know that Mega Man's Mega Buster does like suck back into his arm when he's not using it, and he can in fact turn either of his arms into a Mega Buster whenever he wants, but he can't fire them both at once because it would take too much energy from his solar core. On the other hand, Proto Man has a Mega Buster, but he can't transform it back into his arm. He must have to like unscrew it and put like a hand like attachment on his arm when he doesn't want to be shooting stuff with his Proto Buster. So now you know. I didn't even mention that in the lecture because it's not really canon in the games.
Do you talk about the similarities to Astro Boy? Because the idea of the cannon going back into his arm reminds me of that.
I do not mention Astro Boy even once.
Dang, that's the only little robot guy I know.
Well, now you'll know some more.
Maybe I'll do a fucking lecture about Astro Boy.
Do it. Content for the content mill.
My God, content.
I guess that's it. That's the last voicemail.
Yeah. Well, pleasure doing business with you.
Oh, I see an Imgur link to a Bo Burnham saying something that I agree with. That's fucked up.
Bo Burnham is often saying that. Things I
still have not seen Inside.
It's pretty great. Pretty great.
Yeah, I've heard it's
all of his specials are really good.
Yeah. I watched the previous ones. Haven't seen Inside. That's all I got. That's all I got today. Audience. Just got nothing. What did I manage to only talk for? Did we even make it to 2 hours? No, we did. Pathetic. Pathetic. Remember when the PCP used to be like an hour and a half?
I honestly don't. Because it
really
was like a larger
The old-
cast, and we went for so much less time. I feel like sometimes I would be on the podcast and have like an interjection, and that's it. That's the only thing I did in the entire thing, and then it was over.
Yeah, they were short. The old episodes, they would be like an hour 20 sometimes. Like, it's fucked up. That's not content. That's not even. That's nothing. that's a puff of air. All I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we've got nothing to say,
I got nothing to say. All I got to say
patting
is
it
watch
out
my
would make it worse.
Watch my stupid Mega Man video.
Yeah.
And pledge to my Patreon if you want to send me the message that this is what you need. This is what you need to be doing, Ben, if you want to be a YouTuber as like someone that makes content as like a form of income as a living. This is the response. I need to see that the support is there. And if I do, and if it does well and it makes a little money, then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll have to plan the next one. And if it fails, and if nobody pledges, then I will probably just disappear in a puff of smoke and never be heard from again. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hold anything hostage, but like that's the reality of the situation. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna stop doing it. So there you go. I got some phlegm. Oh, it's the COVID jab. I'm coughing up some of that inflamed heart tissue.
Gross.
Gross. Hideous. All right, I'm gonna go make some gummy worms.
Yeah.
Let's end the podcast.
I'm not gonna do that.
True.
Also, remember to commission me if you feel like having a drawing that I made. I'm pretty good at that now.
You've been improving every time I see your drawings. I think this is even better. More detailed, more I don't know,
structurally
motion.
sound.
Yeah, stuff like that.
More anatomy, but not like
anatomy, more body parts,
more muscles, defined, excruciating detail. Yes.
Excruciating. All right. That's the end of the podcast. We'll see you next week. Thanks, as always, for listening. Send us a voicemail. Pledge to our Patreon. Yes. Pledge to our Patreon. Okay, end of the podcast. Goodbye.
Okay, this is the end. Goodbye.